Okay, first of all, I don't want to hear any more shit about Cast a Deadly Spell ever.
Fuck you! This is way better than Cast a Deadly Spell.
Yes, it is.
Yes, it is.
No, it is
but not by much.
It is not. The dialogue in this movie. The dialogue in this movie makes Cast a Deadly Spell sound like Aaron Sorkin dialogue.
Aaron Sorkin's dialogue is terrible.
Bigger guns. Bigger guns.
There are bigger guns. There are bigger guns.
Coffee.
This guy throwing the fucking cups multiple times during that scene is hysterical.
I have many notes.
Okay.
Right.
I mean, we should let Chris go first on this.
Well, no, I want to. I want to go first because I want to talk about why I picked this.
Okay, sounds good.
This is your pick, so rightfully so.
I want to talk about why I picked this.
Okay.
So
explain yourself.
I picked this for a couple of reasons. One, I think it's really interesting that this movie that was made in 1992 or whatever is about climate change. Like it's literally
the title crawl.
Yeah. This movie is about climate change and they're like, no, London's going to be underwater. Like that's going to be a big problem. And I think that's really interesting. The second thing that I think is, or the second reason I picked it is I think it's also really interesting because a lot of it is about how the police are terrible. like these guys are fucking idiots. Like top to bottom, these people are morons. And you have the dumb American and you have the dumber British guy. And I think that's really interesting. But then beyond that, everyone in this movie is going for it. Like they are acting their asses off. And I don't think they know they're in a bad movie, but maybe they do. And they're just decided that like, oh, we're going to do it 100% no matter what. Like, I'm going to just keep smoking these cigars and throwing them away and smoking these cigars and throwing them away. I'm going to smoke a quarter of a cigarette and throw it into a cup. Like it's like the acting in this movie is capital A acting top to bottom. And I think it's great. Like I don't think it's a good movie. I've never even remotely thought it was a good movie, but it is funny as shit to watch.
It should be a Riff Trax or a MST 3000 or whatever that's called.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious because like 9 out of 10 people in this movie know that it's shit, and the one person who doesn't is also giving 100%.
Who in your opinion is the one that doesn't?
Rutger Hauer. And the director.
Yeah.
I think the director didn't realize that he was in the movie.
No idea.
I live in fear of making a movie like this.
Now, I'm not saying I actually want an apology for last week, because the thing about the movies I picked last week is that Ninth Configuration and Absolute Beginners, again, time wasn't kind, and they had flaws, but they had something to say. Those films came with a message. The Ninth Configuration was talking about something, and so was Absolute Beginners. This film wasn't talking about anything.
No,
it wasn't. It literally was. It was just a crazy. I guess the term is stochastic.
The global warming thing had no connection to the plot.
It gave an excuse to open up a bunch of water mains and flood these alleys.
It just made everything wet.
They got everything damp. That was about it.
It was very Blade Runner, post Blade Runner.
The rats were
Blade Runner for its own sake.
The rats were good.
Yeah.
When he shoots the rat in the fucking room, when he just pulls the gun out and shoots past him.
That's the scene I pulled this from. Yeah.
Also, there's a lot. One scene they went into this room with a bunch of dead rats hanging down like traps.
Yeah.
I get the feeling those were probably real rats. That's the budget of this film. Probably the budget of this film is like, we can make fake rats, or we can use a bunch of real ones and hang them up. So it's possible. No, it was this was risible.
All right. So first, how did I miss this one when it came out?
Right. Never heard of this thing.
There was a period of time when I was living in San Francisco in the early 90s where every Sunday I would go see something like this. And I looked, the reason this got a release, and apparently it was also the weekend of the LA riots.
Yes.
Oh, that explains a few things.
No one went to see this because of the LA riots.
Because it's just bad timing or something. But what I write down? Okay, where was the where was the Canon logo at the beginning? Like, did I miss it? Because this felt so much like one of those movies, Golden Globus or Canon or something.
It felt like Orion to me, like Orion has all of the like. Oh yeah, they made RoboCop, but no, like this felt like an Orion movie.
Although
that was charitable. I would say more Canon.
Did you
like
get the tribute? Did you get the tribute to Canon Pictures though? Did you see it?
Was there one?
Yeah, at the end, that way with the subway station they fought the dude in. It's Cannon Street.
Oh, was it with two ends?
Yeah. Yeah,
I didn't catch that.
I was watching it. It says, "Wait, that makes weird sense." I know it's actually really close to the Thames, and it probably would be flooded. But also, this feels like a Canon picture. So let's see where this goes.
So I watched this movie going, this feels like a script that was written for Schwarzenegger, and then he said, "Fuck this, I'm not doing it," and they gave it to Rutger. But I went on the IMDb on this is fascinating because actually, it was supposed to be Harrison Ford.
Mm-hmm.
Right. No fooling.
Yes. Yeah. So it was supposed to be Harrison Ford. He passed, gave it to Rutger.
Because he already made it, for one thing.
The other thing that was kind of remarkable to me is apparently David Fincher used the cinematography in this movie as inspiration for Seven.
Mm-hmm.
What?
Yes.
No, you can see it.
The one thing I would say, like, this is a entertaining piece of shit B movie. I actually was amused watching almost all of it. But there were moments where you could see they were trying to transcend the $50 that they had to make it with. And I felt like the cinematography and the lighting, and at first it's like, oh, that's kind of cool. Like they're going to flood London. And then it eventually just kind of became window dressing. But you could see that they were trying to kick it up a notch, not always successfully. The acting might have even been the weakest link. I thought that the things I liked there were a couple scenes that worked. I thought that, the people that knew they were in a shitty movie, fucking Ian Dury shows up.
Yeah.
Like, oh my God, it's Ian Dury. That's kind of cool. Like the character actors,
Aaron Anderson,
they were good.
Pete Postlewaite.
Aaron Anderson, who plays Pete Postlewaite. Aaron Anderson, who plays the chief.
He was good.
I know there's some good. That fooled me into thinking this was going to be a good movie too.
Yeah,
this is not a good movie.
There were some folks that were trying. I feel like trying to transcend it, and then by the time you get to like the last act, and they reveal. Also. The monster was built by Stephen Norrington.
Yes.
Yes,
it was.
Fill me in.
Blade.
He's a director.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
He went on to make Blade, which was fucking awesome, and The League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, which was not, which is why he doesn't really have a career anymore. But apparently he had like 15 minutes to make that monster, which is why it looks like it took 15 minutes to make it.
Yeah.
But I mean, I could in my head, I'm like, you put Schwarzenegger in this and you throw $30 or $40 million and you put a director in that actually knows what the fuck they're doing. This could have been really good.
And they would have spent some money on rewrite.
There's two directors. Like they ran out of money basically, and they pulled the original director. And then they put another director in, and that's why the last quarter of it is in completely different tone to the rest of the movie. That's why it's funny at the end. Is they were like, oh, let's just make this fucking shit funny.
It's about the morgue, around the morgue scene.
Yes.
It starts to become a comic.
This movie
split second.
Yeah, the title's terrible.
No,
it
doesn't mean anything.
It means that it was tacked on by marketing.
Yeah.
What? I think this whole movie was terrible, but I really enjoyed it.
Okay, there it is. We're getting a lot of that today.
Agreed.
Sheila grabbed the remote. And fast forwarded through a couple of scenes. Was like when the third or fourth time they went into the police station, it was going to be another one of these "you son of a bitch" scenes.
Yeah.
Those are hilarious. Those are actually hilarious in this movie.
I'm going to admit, the beginning part, after the establishment in the middle of the first act, I passed out cold for about 15 minutes. And I apparently missed Kim Cattrall's shower scene.
Yeah.
Everyone goes, yeah.
My favorite thing about this movie is Kim Cattrall, and just because she's so fucking hot in this film. And
I love Kim Cattrall, and I 100% agree.
The hair was good.
She's beautiful. I love her hair. I love it because did you notice she was undershaved as well?
They made a point of showing that.
Star Trek movie. She was playing a Vulcan at the same time she was making this.
No shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Star Trek.
Oh, that makes sense.
It was also like it was a very
I kept looking for her ears.
it was a very Mia Wallace look as well.
Right.
Well, also she had become a Bob.
It was the Vulcan haircut. It was the same haircut.
Yeah,
No, I have a weakness for girls with
Again,
Bobs.
the IMDb, there was some overlap between this and the Star Trek movie.
Yeah, it makes sense.
It's been a long time since I've seen a film where it's like, that lone cop,
That's true. Yeah.
Who's like brooding, he's brooding and he's like, it was really laughable. Like I realized when I was watching this, how many of these types of films I watched when I was like a teenager.
You're off the force. You're back on the force.
Actually, would you call, is this a buddy picture?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So that falls in that genre, right?
Yeah.
Even though it's sci-fi. Yeah. Okay. Just checking.
Well, it not only is it sci-fi, it's also like weirdly horror because if you don't know, the serial killer is a demon.
Right.
Yeah.
Like it's an actual. It's an actual from hell demon.
They start touching on a supernatural.
Incredibly stupid.
Right past that.
No, they start touching on the supernatural. Like, wait, what the fuck is going on? Because they were established these science fiction creds for an hour and 15 minutes, and all of a sudden,
no, they're just Wile E. Coyote straight past it, and it's just like, it's a demon.
So I was expecting there'd be like a priest and an exorcism at the end, and then like make a circle, and it's just bizarre, man.
But you can shoot and blow up and electrocute the devil, apparently.
Yeah.
Yes, you absolutely can.
The devil.
I felt like he was like a cross between like a xenomorph and like the Phantom of the Paradise or something.
Yeah.
Like he's fighting the fucking Phantom of the Paradise at the end, dude.
But
Jim, hold on, Jim. What did you want to say?
I forget.
Oh, the big fight at the
That's
end.
been very important then.
The big fight at the end at the subway station. They're inside that the subway car, right? I'm looking at it. It's got these big, thick, plush mohair seats, and I recognize it. I was at the Transit Museum in London last year. This is like 1925 or 1930 era rolling stock.
Yeah.
You ever used to have these beautiful plush chairs and like velvet covered strap handles back then, and it's like, and they just wrecked that thing too. It just probably got surplus from the transit guys and just killed it, and so that was interesting.
I also like how Rutger Hauer. I like how Rutger Hauer is totally like not hot and not in shape and like. He
looks downright.
He's like he's so dumpy, but he's like.
Let's just talk about Rutger Hauer for a second, because I went and looked at the IMDb and I'm like, how many years was this after Blade Runner? It's only 6.
Yeah.
How the fuck did that guy go from Roy Batty? I mean, and then he was like Lady Hawk and Flesh and Blood. Lady Hawk was like a big budget Hollywood movie. Richard Donner.
Yeah, he started, man.
The male lead in that.
Mm-hmm.
Flesh and Blood, the first American Verhoeven movie, right?
Right.
The Hitcher, which is a personal favorite of mine. If you
That is a really great film.
Enough. It's a fucking amazing movie.
Mm-hmm.
And then it's like he went off a cliff.
Yeah.
Well,
he never really had a good job ever again.
Like, well, you talk about Blind Fury and things like that.
Hobo with a shotgun. Sure.
Hobo with a shotgun.
But that's not.
Batman or
he had a bit part in Batman.
Batman Begins. He's very good in that.
Really? I don't remember it.
He's the leader of Wayne Enterprises.
I even forgot. Nighthawks, which if you haven't seen it, is actually a good Stallone.
No, that's actually a good,
very good Rutger Hauer movie. So the trajectory from Nighthawks to Blade Runner to The Hitcher implied something other than what we got, and I'm like, who did he piss off?
Well, maybe it was a little bit of this. He isn't making the best decisions at the point. I don't know.
I've also heard that, I haven't seen it, but the Heineken kidnapping is apparently very good.
Yeah, now he's gone. Obviously, he died a couple of years ago, but I just like so much untapped potential.
Chris, what was the Verhoeven picture you mentioned?
Flesh and Blood.
Flesh and Blood.
Yeah. So that was English. That was in English.
85, I think.
Yeah,
so that was in English.
It was in English.
Yeah, it was in English. Jennifer Jason Leigh, I believe.
Yeah.
When was Spetters? Because he made that with Verhoeven.
Spetters was
earlier. Yeah. Then he did.
Spetters before Blade Runner, like 81.
It was Soldier of Orange and Spetters, and then the Fourth Man.
Soldier of Orange was 80.
Yeah.
Spetters was 81.
He did the Fourth Man just before he jumped over to America, and that was a really
Soldier of Orange is a great movie.
Yeah.
Too.
Have you guys seen Turkish Delight?
No, I just
I've not
want
seen that one.
I just want to jump into what John said. Is that one thing about watching this film is you can see these guys are trying really hard. The sets were interesting looking, but they were cheap. They didn't have any money to spend on them, you know. And
But
so,
art directed pretty well.
you know, they did a lot with
really
what
well.
they did a
With
lot
what
with what
they
they had. So I was like, kudos to that, because I thought the police station looked really interesting.
This
It
movie was made for $11, and
Yeah.
it actually feels like
Every dollar is up there.
every
No,
dollar's on screen.
You
Would that be-
remember
would
the
that-
scene? You
would that
guys
be
remember
£8?
the scene? You remember the scene in Ed Wood where Bella has to get in the tank with the foam rubber tentacles?
Oh,
and
yeah.
fucking sell that thing like a pro.
Uh-huh.
That scene kept playing in my head watching this movie.
Yeah.
All these people looking around. Okay, here we go. I gotta sell it.
The script for
Pull
this
the
movie.
string. Pull the string.
I gotta fucking go to work and sell this shit today.
Eddie, let's shoot this fucker.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
My favorite line
It's
from the
such a
movie.
terrible script. It's so bad.
Yeah.
But it was a lot of fun. It moved pretty fast for the
90
most part.
minutes. Yeah.
And
Yeah, you're in and out. That's one thing that's good about it.
the lighting was really nice too.
So
I think.
before you showed up,
camera
Jared,
was-
you missed
the
that part.
IMDb on this, Jared. Apparently, David Fincher used this as inspiration for Lighting 7.
Oh, okay. Well,
Again, it like
I don't see that correlation, but I really
No,
like.
I mean, look-
I admired the cinematography and the light in this movie.
go
Well,
around
and-
go around the things and look at all of the different lightings in what we picked, and you can totally see it. Like
Yeah.
it
No,
it
you-
is there.
No, you take this movie and add $25 million to it, and you get 7, basically.
Yeah.
In terms of the
Well,
look.
and yeah, like I said, Schwarzenegger
And you
has
make it
support.
and you make it not a fucking demon for
Mhm.
some reason.
Well, yeah,
Or
different
you
approach,
do.
obviously. Mhm.
You get Predator too.
The other
Yeah,
thing,
it's
Yeah,
like
there you go.
the
yeah.
lighting.
Oh
was
yeah,
good.
this is definitely Predator 2, isn't it?
Yes.
The camera
Very
work was pretty
much.
good. The use of moving camera was pretty good in some scenes.
Oh, there
dude.
was something like, when he
Oh,
comes
wait.
in and he does it does like a full circle around him. Like,
Oh,
No,
nice.
stop right
Good.
there. That's my big big complaint I forgot to mention earlier is that this whole movie was done in medium shots. Every last scene was a medium shot.
Yeah,
It
you're right.
looked like this Zoom
because the
conversation.
sets were probably this big.
I
There
know.
was a
But
close-up- there
I
was
know
a
that
close-up of
was
Kim
in like
Cattrall's
this for
haircut.
every single scene. It was crazy. I got you
And
get,
some of the effects were so bad, like when the demon was like in the roof, you could tell there was just somebody like moving those little panels, you know, when he's supposed to be like walking across. It was so cheesy. You know, there's some grip who's just going like, yeah, shaking it. It looks so bad.
All right, go over there and do this. Ha!
But no, it really made me miss long shots and establishing shots. This film.
Well,
You realize you need them in the mix
They
somewhere.
used the same establishing shot, helicopter shot over London, like what,
Yeah.
twice in the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. One way, the other way. That was all.
And
Yeah,
we're,
that
and we're
recognized-
supposed to believe that London is flooded because it was a shot of the Thames River.
Right.
That's that.
And
Yeah.
then they cut straight to like they just flooded the set or something.
No, I think
Yeah,
we know that
I literally until you suggested this one was completely never on my radar. And
Yeah,
then, because apparently the monster has been on a couple of heavy metal album covers, which you think I would have noticed, but apparently not.
Yeah, it's absolute dumb shit nonsense,
Uh-huh.
and I just enjoy it because it's stupid. Like
There's one genuine moment. I don't know if you guys caught it, but it's when it's right around the time. I think it's the shot that's behind you, Tad, where they're making fun of each other's names,
Mhm.
and Rutger sort of breaks character and starts snickering.
Yeah.
Like that was apparently totally genuine, and they just left it in, and I like that a lot.
Nah.
Again, just him throwing the cups over his shoulder is just so fucking funny. Like it's
so
just
stupid.
It's so stupid.
it's just like, oh, there's too much water. Bye.
But you
Too much
feel-
coffee. Bye. Like
You could feel them trying to put like character development into this because the sidekick cop who was all straight laced and bad, he was not a good cop at the beginning because he was too much of a sissy for Rutger Hauer.
Uh-huh.
And then he goes bananas at one point, and he's like, "We need more guns. We need more guns." So they gave him an arc,
yeah.
Well,
Yeah.
Rutger Hauer's characteristic is he likes coffee a lot. I keep going back to this because
Coffee,
it was so
chocolate, and
fucking
stress.
annoying because he kept saying it over and over like it was a verbal tick, like he had like coffee Tourette's.
Yeah. Yeah. And
I've
lighting
known
flowers
people.
and
I've
not
known
salt
people
lights.
like that.
That-
I'm
that's
just
like
gonna
you-
say
that-
I've known people like that.
Because that's like high school screenwriting, man. That's just like, let's give him a quirk. I know he likes coffee.
This is the part in the show where I asked Jim what he thought because he hasn't said a fucking word yet.
And he's got that background.
Yeah, that's what I
Jim, what'd you think?
You know, it took me 3 days to get an hour into this flick. I kept pausing it, and then I would pause it, and then I would turn it off.
That says a lot.
Yeah,
This took me 2 nights. I'm not gonna lie.
it was not 3
Me
days.
too. It took me 2. I took it off at one point.
I just watched it this morning.
I liked the
One night, but I fell asleep.
sort of the end. I think when the new director came on, I noticed that like the scenes that not the scenes, the shots that I liked when people were acting in them had too much left over on each end. It's like they didn't want to waste film and they had to stretch it out. So that like something would happen and then they'd go out of character almost, it seemed. They would just like direct, and you're just watching this and it's like, you know, this is a rough cut. They need to tighten it up and make like a 40.
No, you can
already,
see
like,
you
90
can see
minutes.
that somebody's
It would have
standing
been
there with
75 minutes long
like,
if they tightened it.
Also, was it?
No, keep going. No. Okay.
Is there some sort of like is that a trope that the future is supposed to look like a bondage club? Is that a thing for all science fiction
Well,
movies?
I think it was well played
Cyberpunk.
out by the time this came out.
What?
It's how many times you guys watched this going first Terminator movie?
Yeah,
Like there's a lot of that.
a lot,
too, right?
Yeah.
Like Tech Noir, the bar,
However,
was basically
however-
redressed for this.
It felt like an imitation of a lot of other shit.
However, silver nipples.
Yeah. Okay. I get
Yeah,
that. Well,
right.
Yeah, good. It was good to see some good, clean, old-fashioned boobage. On the
well,
screen
you know what? The
again.
one thing that I think about this film is that we this particular yelling about movies. Well, I think we're all trying to impress each other by our great taste. This doesn't, and that's good because there's all sorts of kinds of movies out there, and some of them are just plain entertaining, and that's fine.
I'm picking Death Race 2000.
Yeah. Oh, somebody needs to pick that.